Hey guys, welcome once again to the Raj Kaul Podcast. And just before we start, a special announcement. This episode's been brought to you by Rupinder Kaul Speech Therapy. That's my actual wife. I haven't got a number here. I was supposed to give her a number out, a business number out. So, Ruby, she does speech therapy and she covers the West Midlands for school age, preschool, and school age children assessment therapy. So basically, if your child's got delayed speech or any speech problems, she's brilliant. Trust me, I've seen her act. I've seen her in process. She thinks outside the box. She thinks what normal speech therapists do. They follow a formula, but she likes to think outside the box, use unconventional tools. So make sure you get in contact. And if you mention the podcast, you'll get a free phone consultation and a 20% discount off all the first block of sessions. So if you know anyone or you have a child yourself who's got a speech issues, just contact us. Yeah, I'll give you the number now. I've got to get the number off my phone. Shows you how organized I am. let's get the number quickly. So the number is I really should have taught this first. So the number is, here we go, 07400131351, 07400131351. So contact her, send her a WhatsApp, and we'll take that. But anyway, let's get on to the show, guys. I'm really excited about this next guest. So KYSN, I met KYSN at the Luton Mela a few years ago when I performed, and he's such a polite lad, He's such a awesome guy. Honestly, I the vibes I got off him was so good. And not only that, he's such a talented producer, such a talented rapper as well. I know his mom's lovely. His whole family is amazing. Honestly, these guys are such an amazing family. And I know that they do a gig, not a gig, it's the wrong word, a club night in Milton Keynes. But we'll talk about that later. KYSN, how are you doing?
I'm good. How have you been? It's been so long since we've not had time to properly catch up. So
absolutely, yeah.
I'm sure you've got so many things going on at the moment.
Absolutely. The last time I chatted to you was probably on your live.
Yeah, probably. It would have been on my live.
Yeah,
I'm just working on so much at the moment. I've not been too active on my messages and my friends. They get annoyed at me because I don't answer their calls because I'm either working or I have certain times where I switch my phone off and I'm like, that's it. No one contacts me. No one, no one thing. I just need this time to myself.
Is that you producing? You're sitting knuckling down on your music work, or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
general?
Production. I do currently own a business at the moment. I can't say too much about it at the moment because it's all a bit on the low. But
Check you out, check you out, dude.
yeah,
Anyway, let's go a bit because like I met you at the Luton Miller, and I didn't know you were going to rap in there because you've matured quite a bit since then. You were a shy
yeah.
kid, shy and very, very polite and very like such a lovely kid. And now, see, I'm your sad uncle really now, and it really so coming on your lives and stuff. So that's, 'cause I'm probably about your mom and dad's age anyway. But I've seen your stuff, bro, and honestly, your production and stuff, and your rapping, and it's been amazing. I've sort of seen your journey from the start.
No,
So those are
100%.
yeah, and honestly, and your lives and stuff you do as well. But so you got two aspects of your music career. You've got your rapping and your production, but you started off in production. Is that right?
Yeah, so I started producing from the age of 14, was doing a bit. I was rolling around with a few artists, Hunters, actually. I used to roll around with him quite a bit. He taught me so much.
We're
And
gonna
then
go into
from
this. Stop there. Let's go back. So I like to rewind. Tell us a bit before we get into that. Just tell us a bit about your background with your mom and with your dad. What was your childhood like before we get into music? I just want to know a bit about your background of what type of music you're into, your influences and things like before we get into the nitty gritty of things.
Yeah, so my influences, because I've grown up around Asian music, even though I don't make Asian music now,
No.
I've grown up with the influence of Asian music. My mum, she loved Asian music, all of the old Bollywood songs, everything. Same with my dad. We all have a massive, massive love for music. My mum, she actually used to present on a local radio station in Milton Keynes, And
Hmm.
then from there, she actually got quite a big position at Leica doing radio presenting. And that was obviously when I was quite young as well. So being around that, I always used to be at all of the melas and stuff growing up as well, backstage, meeting all the different artists and stuff. So I'd say my journey started there with my mum's radio presenting, just being around all of that, all the different environments and stuff of events and stuff. Then obviously, because my dad, he used to come with us to the events, but he used to know a lot of the artists and stuff as well. He used to actually manage quite a few of the artists too. So I used to be around that quite a bit.
I didn't know that about your dad, that he managed the artists. I knew
Yeah,
about your mum doing the radio and stuff, but I didn't know about your dad because your dad's quite a, when you meet him, he's such a lovely guy, but and
yeah.
he's such humble. You wouldn't think that.
No, 100%,
Do you
100%.
know what I mean?
He keeps it quite on the low.
Yeah.
Like he manages quite a few of these people. But no, honestly, it's just growing up around it. I feel like that's what started my journey in music. That's what gave me the inspiration to start making music.
So was there a point where you thought, as a kid, when you were at school and stuff, that I want to do this professionally?
So there was, and I remember thinking that I was actually in my secondary music class. I knew from a kid I wanted to do something in music. I wanted to thingy. Then I started getting into producing a bit, and then from
How
there,
did
I
that
literally,
happen? Was he at school? Was you at
yeah, that was at school. We were learning, and then I started learning about the first software that I actually learnt on was GarageBand and Logic.
yeah, yeah.
They were the first two softwares that because my secondary school they used it quite a bit, and from there, because I started slowly producing on Logic and GarageBand, I was like, yeah, this is something that I want to do as a career, just something that sparked to me because I'd grown up around it, because I'm around it constantly. I felt like it was the way to go because I've got such a love for music, all different types of music, whether it's Asian, whether it's UK, R&B, whatever it may be. And I remember having the conversation with my dad as well. And I remember what he said to me. He said, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it 100%. You're not gonna do it as a hobby. You're not gonna do it as thing. If you've truly got a passion for it, then you're gonna do it 100%. My parents have helped me out a lot, especially growing up, especially when I first wanted to get into music as well. So it's just that's I'd say where my sort of journey started, where I knew I was like, yeah, I want to be a music producer.
Mhm. So I like to go into the nitty gritty of things. This is what makes this podcast unique, because
Yeah.
I've been exposed to the actual music side, the production side as well. I don't do much production now, but when you were at school at that time, do you remember what project you're doing, or do you remember your first experience of using GarageBand, or what do you remember what you produced, or can you?
You know what? I actually can't remember what I first produced. I think it was for a school project. It was something we had to do this beat. We had to do like a soundtrack to. So we had different videos that we could pick from, but we had to do a soundtrack behind it. So sort of a bit like scoring, but they wanted you to make mu music to it as opposed to scoring the video. I remember doing that, and I remember thinking, I was like, yeah, this is like this is fun. Like this is
Yeah.
this is a vibe. Like this is I feel locked in. I feel at peace when I'm doing this. Music is my peace.
Did you have any musical knowledge in terms of like at that time, in terms of like chord structure and things like that? Because
Nothing. So
you never had
I
nothing,
learned
because
it
you need
all.
to learn that as you go, don't you? As you
Yeah,
know.
so I literally from the start I learned it all as I went. I used to even just watching like the little YouTube tutorial. Even now, I still watch YouTube tutorials here and there
Hmm.
just to learn just even the most random thing. Even if I don't use it, just having that knowledge, I feel is just that it's you need to have that knowledge because you never know when you might use certain aspects in your production.
Absolutely, yeah. So at that time, when you were learning about production, when you were doing like, when you were exposed to GarageBand and Logic at school, who were your influences then? Like, was it mainly hip hop, or I'm assuming?
So my influences, there was actually a rapper that I used to listen to, Asian rapper, guy called Divine.
I don't know, Divine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Divine, listening to his music, and obviously Rishi, because I've grown up on Rishi's music. So a lot of people don't know this. Rishi has been a friend of my dad's for 20 plus years now.
Wow.
So not a lot of people know it, but that's why obviously I grew up listening to his music because we always used to get sent his music, his latest releases, everything. So though I feel like those two were my main influences. Obviously, I used to listen to quite a bit of different types of music. Obviously, at that time, people like Stormzy and like Swarms and Dino, all of the UK lot as well, even Dave, AJ Tracy, they were all rising at that time as well. They were
Mm.
all quite big in the industry and their music was like trending. So I always used to listen to that as well.
So you had the biggest like influence as well, like with Rishi Rich, a legend of the game. He changed the scene, didn't he? At that
Yeah.
time, yeah, he revolutionized the whole Asian scene at that point, didn't he? So yeah, so okay, so let me get this in my head. So you started your production using Logic. Then what happened after school? Did you go to your dad and say that you mentioned that you want to do this?
Yeah, so it was actually in it wasn't even after secondary school, it was during secondary school. I still would have been about 14 years old,
Mad.
14, 15 years. I remember this. I was actually 14 when I first met Rishi in real life because it wasn't too long because he was living in India for a bit and it wasn't too long after he'd moved back to the UK
Yeah.
that I met him. I met him halfway through the year. I remember it was 2022, halfway through the year. Um, that was when, so before that, um, I used to go to events and stuff with Hunters quite a bit.
So how did all these links like basically you're saying you met all these guys, but
Yeah.
what was your first introduction to these guys? Were they just family friends coming to the house and stuff like that? So
Yeah, so
how did you end
Hunters,
up going with these guys? If you could tell us that.
I'm not really sure how him and my dad met. I think it was at an event. They
Yeah.
got talking. It was really um thing. And then Hunters used to come around the house quite a bit. I used to see him at all of the mellas and stuff as well. I used to see the people that he was mentoring, the people that he used to roll around with too. And just looking at all of that, because first time I sort of started proper, like not properly, but I used to see Hunters quite a bit was in 2019. I used to be at quite a bit of the mellas and stuff with him. I used to see how he used to talk to people, how he used to do things. And again, it's just that whole inspiration
Wow.
of
Such a big
um,
artist as well. And
yeah,
what stands out to me is like people like Richie Rich and Hunters that taking the time for you, taking you
yeah,
with them. What was that like? The
100%.
whole journey, like
Honestly, that whole
because you're a kid and you're
yeah,
going in the car with them, sitting them with them, going to a gig. It's like that's crazy.
it felt unreal. Genuinely, it felt unreal. Like just the thought process, everything that was going through my head. There would be some times where I wouldn't be able to process it. Like now, because I've been around that from a young age. Now, when I meet people, people are like, "You're so chill. You're so fit. How do you not get starstruck?" And I'm like, I sit there. I'm like, I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, but even with Hunters, obviously Rishi has been a friend of my dad's for a very long time now. So that's how I got involved with him. But I'd say when I first started properly producing, when I first wanted to start learning, I was learning on my own for a bit. Then it was 2022. I was with Hunters for a bit longer, going with him to different shoots, different events, obviously working on different things with him as well.
But how did that come
Then,
about? Case and how when you were going with Hunters, did you just say to your dad, "Dad, I want to go with
yeah,
Hunters"? Or
so
did he say,
I said, so it was my dad that put me in front of Hunters and Rishi and everyone else, a lot of the people that I now work with. Um, so that started off with my dad because it's like I said, my dad, he said, if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna help you out and you're gonna do it 100%.
so he asked them to mentor you and take you
Yeah.
with him?
Yeah, so he asked them to mentor me and they agreed because I don't know what they might have seen in that 14-year-old kid, 13,
Wow.
14-year-old kid. But I mean, I'm here now. I'm still working hard. I've still got a long way to go, but I'm doing bits that I never thought I'd be doing it.
Taught by the best, isn't it?
Yeah,
Two of the
that's what
best.
I'm saying. And then, but even with Rishi as well, I remember my dad having the conversation with Rishi and saying, he did, he said, can you just showcase in a few pointers, just help him out slightly? Rishi was like, no, I'll bring him to my studio and I'll
Wow.
mentor him. So
So what was that
I
like? What was that like?
yeah, that was like crazy. Just being sat, especially knowing that I've grown up with his music. Like he was my favorite artist growing up as well.
Yeah.
He was my favorite producer growing up. Like just knowing that I've grown up on his music and now I'm actually sat in the studio with him. It just felt unreal. But because it became a regular thing where I was at his studio every single week, he was teaching me things. So I learned on Logic, but he actually taught me on Studio One,
Okay.
which is now what I use to produce, and that's what Rishi uses to produce as well. But he used to teach me all different things, obviously how he used to come about making beats and stuff, even just like not in terms of even not just the music as well. He'd teach me things about how to act in certain places, how to present yourself to people as well, especially in front of art, even how to work with artists. A lot of the things that he does with artists, I do the same when I'm working with artists, when I'm engineering or when I'm producing, or even just like writing for someone. I implement a lot of the things that he does in the same things that I do now. So it's
Wow.
crazy.
So like, can you tell us about what was can you remember the first time you sat with Rishi and what it was like? And
Yeah, I
just
remember.
if you could describe the setting for us, the studio, because I'm a quite a visual person, so
Yeah,
I need it described.
I remember the first time that I got told that yeah Rishi's gonna mentor me, I was like this is crazy. Like it was unreal. So bearing in mind my dad and Rishi, they hadn't seen each other in about 10 or so years.
Wow.
They'd been talking, but they hadn't seen each other in about 10 years. And just going to his house, arriving there, I was extremely nervous as well. Even Rishi said to me, he was like, you're fine here. Like you can talk, you could just set yourself free. Like I don't need to be nervous. And that was obviously when I was first learning how to properly talk. Because when I was younger, I wasn't really an interactive person. I never like now you see me, I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't even have a conversation with someone because I was quite a nervous kid when I was younger as well.
Yeah.
But just that whole thing, I remember Raj Guy from Sunrise, he was
Yeah.
there as well because they were doing some work at the time.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Rishi and Raj, because they're quite close. And I remember he was there. I'd seen him at quite a few events and stuff as well. But that was crazy. The first time that I met Rishi, I knew I was like, yeah, this is definitely something that I want to get into. Just
So is there
especially
anything that stood out when he was what's the first, do you remember the first thing he taught you or
the first thing he taught me. So it was mainly visual learning. So I actually remember the very first proper session that I had with Rishi. H Dami was in there and he was recording.
man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So H Dami was recording in the studio and it's just a lot. Because thing is about me, I'm a visual learner. Rishi said to me, he's always said to me, you need to be like a sponge. Everything that comes in your way, everything that you see, just absorb it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of it was visual learning. A lot of it was him leaving me to my own devices in the studio as well, and just seeing what I could do, and then him telling me, "Oh, maybe you could do this better. Maybe you could do that better. Here's how I would approach it." In that sense, here's different ways that you can approach these things, and that's how I've
That's
obviously got
invaluable. That is like,
that. But it's valuable information as well.
yeah, absolutely. It's invaluable in the sense of that you got a master who's done worldwide music, for some of the biggest worldwide artists, not just Bollywood,
Yeah,
the Western industry as well. So, and he's telling you to this improve this bit. That, gosh, Kason, you've put some pressure on you, haven't we?
yeah.
And it-
But even that year, I think that year, 2022 was mad because that was also the first year that I met Punjabi MC. So
wow,
so I've actually done some work with Punjabi MC as well.
wow,
Um, I remember, so the first interaction that I had with him, so I got invited to help out with, there's a guy that we know called Shaz. He's got a 360 photo booth that I go and I help him out. Whenever we're at events and stuff, I always help him set up. I always bring people in to come and use it.
Hmm.
But this was an event in Derby, I think it was, and we were backstage. Um, the funniest thing was I actually remember the first time that I saw him because my mum almost ran him over because we were pulling into the car park and he was
Yeah.
right in the middle of the road. And I said to my mum, I was like, that was Punjabi MC. She's like, what? Like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. And then I remember going and just talking. Obviously, I was a bit nervous to approach him as well. But I remember approaching him and he took me in. He was like, yeah, this is a safe space. You can talk about, obviously, I was telling him that I'm being mentored by Rishi about a
Yeah.
bit of the work that I've done in the past. I'm just starting out and stuff as well. We sat and we spoke for ages, ages and ages. He's quite a close family friend of ours now
That's amazing.
as well. So like just even just the different things and stuff that I do. So that's pretty much it on the production front. That's how I got started off.
There's a lot more. So when you, it's my job is to get the more information at you, the stuff that
Yeah.
you don't even thought of. So when you started production, was there what about when you did your first track?
When I did my first track, I remember it was looking back on it now, obviously, and Rishi will say this as well. You'll always have criticism for your first bit of work.
Yeah.
Looking back at it. So looking back at it now, I I remember making it and I was like, yeah, this is hard. And I'll listen to it now and I'm like, oh, because of the knowledge that I have now, I'm like, there's so much that I could have done with this.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I could have improved on, but obviously now I've got that knowledge. But I remember the first thing that I produced, Rishi again, just telling me different ways that I can improve, but also not bringing me down in the sense where he's telling me, nah, it's not that good. He was very, when I was being mentored by Rishi, he was very understanding because he knows he was in that position where he obviously everyone gets to that position where they're just starting out, they're learning the different things of production and stuff as well. So he's very understanding.
So when you did your first track, like how, where did the idea come from? How did you? Because this is your first track.
So
What made you think of the idea?
the
What was your
idea,
process of producing
the
that track?
idea, so I remember the first like proper track that I sat down and I was like, yeah, I'll like properly produce this and I'll thing. Rishi sent me some vocals to one of Jay Sean's songs that he produced,
Hmm.
Nakre.
Hmm.
I remember that as well because I remember sending me the vocals and me thinking for ages and ages, but I just thought about all of the different things that Rishi told me that I could do, even when it came to sampling the vocal. Because Rishi taught me quite a bit, like when it came to chord progressions, sampling the vocals, just how to quickly just get a beat done and just quickly think of ideas. Like
That's
it was crazy.
crazy.
It's hard to explain, but it's just the feeling was unreal.
So just go back a second. I just want to realize. So I just want to know when Rishi taught you these things. Did you go home and then start practicing
Yeah,
what
every single day,
Rishi taught you?
every single day.
Oh, that's amazing. That's what I want to hear. Wow, that's passion, and that's how you. And then you'd go back to Rishi. Was that how the
I'd go
mentoring?
back to Rishi and show him what I'd improved on, what I might need help on as well. I was never afraid to ask Rishi for help. That's the thing.
Wow,
And because he created that safe space in the studio with me, so I was never afraid to ask him for help. I was never afraid to show him something that I tried myself as well. So it was just crazy.
that's great. Did you get mentored when you got mentored by Hunters? Was that production as well? Was it just the
That was
show
more just going to different events and stuff and
gigs? Yeah,
just seeing how things were
yeah.
done.
And what about Punjabi MC?
So Punjabi MC, I didn't actually get mentored by Punjabi MC. He taught me one or two things while we've just been chilling, while we've
Yeah.
just been in the studio. But I've actually got a track that I go and perform when I'm out as well. When I'm on stage, a track that I made with him as well. He gave me the go ahead. He's like, yeah, I want to see what you can do on this.
Which track was that? Is it out?
Um, It was, yeah, it's a track that's out now. So I remixed the track. So the remix isn't currently out. Hopefully soon it should be out. It's Me PT.
Okay, nice, nice. So, okay, so let's go back to your production. So, you started rapping as well. Where did that come from?
So the rap, so this is where it was actually when I finished secondary. So this is when I first started college. I remember the very first day I went into college. We were all just we were sitting in the college studios because we'd already been showed the college studios on the open day. We were sat in the college studios. So this is where I actually met the guy that I produce with right now, as of now, Mr. Acapella. He's very low key, but a lot of the tracks that I've got out on Spotify have been made with him because I record at his studio. He comes to mine. We sit and we produce it
Wow.
together.
So,
But the
let's just go
whole
back just a second. Just sorry,
yeah,
I know I'm keep interrupting you.
yeah,
I'm just trying to bridge the gaps, basically. So, did you study music at school and
yeah.
or
So
production and
I
college?
studied music at so I studied music production at college. So college was when I first got. So it was the very first day. I remember walking into the booth. We've just stuck a random beat on. Everyone's vibing. Everyone's trying something out on the microphone. It was a cappella that pushed me into the booth and said, "Yo, you should try something." I was like, "Oh, I don't really rap. It's not gonna be too good." Walked in there, because I used to write here and there, but I never used to rap. I walked in there and recorded it one take as well. Came out. Everyone just went silent, and then they were like, "I thought you said you couldn't rap," and I was like, "I don't think I can." And then I heard it, and I was like, "I can work with this. I can work with this." And then I came home that day, showed my dad what I'd done, sent it over to Rishi. Both my dad and Rishi straight away, they went, "You need to be rapping. You
Which
need to
track was
be
it?
on this." This was just a random,
So, was
it
it
was just a
released?
random, yeah, it's not really, that one's never getting released. Let's just keep it as that. That one's never getting released. But
You can show me when I see you. All right.
yeah. But that was, and I do sit back and look at that track as well, and I compare it to my stuff now, and I see the development.
Yeah.
Like it's the development is crazy. Because back then it would take me ages to write something. Now, if I want to write something, I can get a whole track done in 15 minutes.
That's crazy, Kason.
If I'm on a workflow, I can get a whole track done in 15 minutes.
Beats, everything.
Everything.
Wow.
Like
That's fast.
it's honestly it's crazy just a lot of the stuff that we do at the moment. But from there I started just perfecting my craft. I used to record quite a bit. So funnily enough, the second track that I think it was the second or the third track that I recorded after that was Two Step, which is my first release,
Mhm.
which is actually out on Spotify.
Wow.
That was so I released that actually a year after, just under a year after I recorded it. I put it out there. I remember going in the studio and just completely flow into it. There was a different beat for it before, and then we thought, nah, we'll just make our own.
Mhm.
And then made the beat, recorded on it, and I remember making this, and I was like, yeah, this is my vibe. Like this is something that I can like use to build myself up. And that track actually did very well. I had a lot of people that interviewed me. I got interviewed on BBC Asian Network for
Wow.
it as well. BBC Asian Network, they contacted me. They said, "We've heard your track Two Step. We want to bring it out there. We want to put it on the radio. We want to interview you for it and see where it came from, where your journey was." And that was towards the end of 2024, couple months after released the track. And then from there, 2025, so it was only last year that I started releasing frequently with my music and stuff. So the second release that I had, my second ever release that I had was with Rishi.
Really?
Um, yeah, that's the track. That's Everything. The track's called Everything. So
Is
that
that under
was
Rishi's name or your name?
it's under both of us. So we've collaborated on it.
Okay,
So
I'll have to check it.
Rishi sampled a very close friend of his called Rahul Mishra. We sampled one. He sampled one of his songs, and rang me. So I remember I remember the day that I got the call and Rishi said, I want you to do something on this beat. It was funny because before I used to rap a lot of heartbreak stuff because it was just the vibe that
Yeah,
everyone
literally.
was doing at that time, and I was like, okay. But then I realized I was doing it too much with all my unreleased music, just the things that I would keep in the vault. I was doing it too much. So I said that day that Rishi called me, I remember I said I was like, I'm not doing heartbreak for a while now. I've completely stopped it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe 2 hours later, Rishi rings me. He's like, "Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. How are you? I've got a beat for you." Okay, wicked. What's the beat? It's this guy that I've sampled. Da, 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 da. I go, okay. What's the subject? What do you want me to rap about? Oh, I want you to write about a girl cheating on you. And in my head, I'm thinking, why is it when I say that I don't want to do something, straight away I get pulled back into it. I was like, I said, okay, after this track, I'm done with the heartbreak songs.
Gosh.
But no, honestly, that track was crazy because I remember going there and recording it because we actually recorded something that we were doing with Apache Indian. So I recorded two tracks in that day. So it was some stuff that I was doing with Apache Indian back then that had to be put on hold. Um, and some stuff that I was doing, and obviously that everything track. And I remember going there, recording it. Obviously, that was actually the first time, bearing in mind Rishi had known that I can rap for about a year.
Hmm.
That was actually the first time that I had been in the booth and recorded with Rishi. So Rishi's never seen me record before, and what he didn't realize is that I record everything in one take. So both my verses, I did it just all in one recording,
One goal, yeah.
all in one go. And I remember Rishi looking at me, looks at my dad, looks back at me, and he's like, "How did you just do that?" He's like, "I've had artists in here. It will take me hours to get their recording. I got that recording done within about 20 minutes."
Wow.
And even that feeling was just like crazy.
So, where did the writing side come from, Kason? Like, okay, you learned to rap, but where did the actual the
Yeah.
lyric side come
So
from?
the writing side, I guess that was just me having a bit of fun, to be fair. I started writing in secondary. Like I used to write to beats and stuff. I guess I would try to rap sometimes, but I wouldn't really pursue it too. I wouldn't really think about it too much. I think it was just mainly just like a writing um thing. And then from there I actually started to write for other people as well as my so all of my own songs, I write all my own songs as well. And then I started writing hooks and stuff for other people. I started helping them out. Like even all my friends and stuff that I work with currently, um, I help them write. I help them in the studio, even with their vocals and stuff. Like if they're doing something on a song, I'll do the same thing that Rishi did with me. So that's what I
Wow,
mean when I say that I implement a lot of the things that he's taught me into the work that I do now. I do the same thing that he's doing with me. I'll be on the desk, I'll be engineering. I'd be like, maybe try a different approach on it. Try doing this, try doing that, and then add a bit of this on it. And then they'll do it and they'll be like, oh, that actually worked. Like it's just different ideas and stuff that we try. Even if it doesn't work, we do it because it's different ideas that we can try out. So yes,
that's
that's
amazing. Honestly, because like you're the new generation coming up, and it's so refreshing to see the ideas. My nephew as well, he produces as well, and he's
yeah,
got a very similar mindset to yourself. You know, that kind of new, fresh ideas, putting fresh things
yeah.
in,
It's
and
all about the experimenting.
exactly, yeah.
Like even with a lot of the music and stuff that I'm doing now, I experiment with a lot of the music. People have, I've heard this quite a few times that people haven't heard the sound that I'm bringing up. It's like they have, it's like old school sound, but I'm bringing a new vibe on it. I'm putting a twist on it.
Hmm.
I'm making the old school sound. I'm making it how people used to make it because that's how I've been taught. because I've
Mm.
been taught about all the OG producers, all the OG, like that's how Rishi taught me. He taught me how to do it the old school way. And because that's the way I've been taught, that's the way I implement it in my work.
That's crazy. You're half an hour. We're over your half an hour, by the way.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I've just we can talk for
All
as
right,
long
cool.
as
Yeah.
we need
As I
to,
said, we're
so it's
getting the
fine.
vibe of things,
Yeah,
and
I'm
so
yeah.
okay. So we'll move on from there. So going forward, what are your projects going forward? And because to be fair, I want more from you.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
I want because you've got fair few releases, but I when you came on the scene, I thought you're gonna blast it. And you're gonna get this. So I want even more. This is why I got you on the podcast because I know how talented you are.
Yeah. Nah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you've been taught by the best. So when are we gonna get more? And what as a young producer, what's stopping the workflow at the moment?
So I can confirm I am working on an album.
Hmm.
So that's taking up a lot of my time at the moment. In terms of other different work and stuff as well, because obviously music isn't my only work.
Yes.
I have other um different things that I do. So I own a business. I also help run events and stuff as well in terms of like artist scouting and actually doing the whole because I've started to take over. So you were saying right at the start about the Bollywood nights, the bar
Yeah.
Bollywood. I've actually taken over the Bollywood nights.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So I'm slowly transitioning into fully taking over it now, but I've taken over a lot of the interaction, a lot of the social media, a lot of the sending it out and bringing people in to, and even just like the little jobs and stuff that I do. Like I work for a small company in London that I just go and do work there. So I'll say there's nothing really stopping the workflow because because one thing I'll say, everything that you see isn't what it seems. So a lot of people see, even though I've not been putting too much out as of yet, because I put my Portugal EP out in I think it was August
Hmm.
in 2025, and my last release since then has been my latest release, which is My Type, which has been getting quite a bit of attention as well
Hmm.
on TikTok and all around my area, Milton Keynes and Bedford. Um, but what people don't realize is because I've not released, I'm working on so much in the background at the moment. Like one thing I always say is stack up your vote
Hmm.
because I know artists and stuff, they'll pull out things that they've made like 10 years ago. Take here's a good example, Forever by Degi Panu
Hmm.
and Mani Sandhu. So that I remember watching a video on that. Those vocals were lost in Mani Sandhu's files for years. I think it was about 10, 11 years.
Wow.
Those vocals and that beat, they were lost in his files for 10, 11 years. He was bored going through his files, found that, and now it's a hit song.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I tend to keep a lot of the things that I've got in my vault because I know that I'm going to come back to it at some point when people are ready for it.
Hmm.
Because it's a sound, because I know it's a sound that people aren't, I know it's a sound that people aren't ready for. That's the thing. It's a sound that's, I wouldn't say ahead of its time, but it's a sound that's not currently in people's vision at the moment. But when the time is right, that's when I'll bring it out.
Amazing.
So,
Amazing. Okay, so where like I normally finish off the podcast with a question. You're pretty young, but I'm still going to ask you because of the experience you've had with Rishi Rich and Hunters and WMC and everyone else who's had an influence on you. In your words, what is musical excellence? What does musical
musical
excellence mean to you?
excellence. Musical excellence, to me, it means just having the passion. A lot of people, they would think musical excellence is obviously having the fame, having loads of streams on your songs, having everyone know your name when you
Mhm.
walk down the street. That's not what musical excellence is to me. And I'll say this to everyone. If you're doing it for the money, if you're doing it for the fame, if you're doing it for all of that other, if you're not doing it for the passion of music, music isn't for you.
Absolutely. Well said.
Musical
Wise words.
excellence. Yeah, it's passion. It's your passion for music, how passionate you are about your music.
That's
Because it's all
phenomenal.
around us at the end of the day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, case, and thank you so much for coming on the podcast as well. And we've been a few weeks. I think I
Yeah,
was
it's been a
poorly,
few
and
weeks. Yeah,
yeah, and then
I've been ill.
yeah,
Then
exactly.
you had
Yeah,
a bit of a rough thing, and then
yeah,
I'm glad that we've had this talk. I'm glad that we've had the time to sit
absolutely.
down and just
Because we're going
properly
to do a
talk.
follow up one soon. Like you know, when you're the biggest artist in the UK, we're gonna
Hopefully,
yeah.
time will
So
tell. That's it.
what I was going to say to you. So where can everyone follow you on social media? If you want to give your social
So
media details out.
anyone that wants to follow me, all of my social media, even my YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, it's all under official KYSN, KSN.
Brilliant.
So
So, guys, that was Kason. Anything you want to say to the listeners before we go?
honestly, nothing much. I just want to say thank you for having me on the podcast. Thank you for having me here, man.
So, guys, that was Kason. Make sure you give him a follow, leave a review. Make sure you check out his stuff, especially if you're into rap and up and coming music. Trust me, he's been taught by the best, and I'd really believe he's going to have a massive future in the music industry. So, guys, look out for Kason. Make sure you follow him. Make sure you follow. You're on TikTok as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you follow him on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and any other platform as well. So, guys, God bless you. Until we meet again, that was Kason. And make sure you share, like, and review as well. So, I'm going to stay on with Kason. And until we meet again, God bless you all. See you later.